Hello everyone, my name's Colin and you're watching Classy Herps. Alright, now to get started off real quick, I thought I would mention that I did get some editing software. I got Sony Vegas 10 HD Platinum, so it's a pretty awesome product, and I can edit my videos really awesome with it, and I can have these awesome HD videos with this new camera I have. I just thought that needed to be said because the last few videos I have not been able to edit, so that's why they aren't so good. This one, better. Alright, now today we're going to be talking about what I have planned for the 2012 breeding season. So, it's a pretty exciting video. I've been waiting a long time to do this, and it's finally here, so here we go. Alright, now you see here, this is my female pinstripe. Her name's Carmen, and she will hopefully be breeding for me this year. She's about 2,000 grams, and so I'm really excited about that. If you can't tell, she's actually in shed right now, and so she'll be out of shed in a few days, and when she gets out of shed, I will introduce her more formally to this male right here, which is a butter het ghost actually, but the het ghost won't really matter in this pairing because she's not a het ghost. But what I have planned for these two is obviously I'm going to try to get a cross between the two, which is called a king pen, which is a butter pinstripe. They go for about $1,200 at most, probably $1,000. I'll probably sell if I get a baby. But that's hopefully going to be the best thing that I can produce there. I'll also be producing 25% of the babies will be pinstripe, 25% will be butter like the father, 25% should be the king pens like I'm hoping for, and 25% would actually be normals, which I'm hoping to get the least of. So that's probably the more anticipated clutches that I have, so that's going to be really interesting because I don't know what I'm going to get out of this because the chances are kind of out there. So that's one of my pairings this year, which I'm looking forward to. Alright, now what you're seeing is my Exanthic female. Her name's Grace, and she is about 1,600 to 1,700 grams, and you see she's got a big old meal in her right here right now. But anyway, she will be breeding this year for me, and in about 2 weeks I'll start cooling her off, which I cooled my pinstripe and my butter off about 3 weeks ago, so they are cooled off and ready to breed for me, hopefully. And this girl, I'm just going to try to space out my clutches so everything doesn't hit me at once, which is a pretty good idea. You need to be organized if you're going to be breeding, so I don't want everything to hit me at once, so I'm going to space them out. And plus, another reason I had to space them out was because I just made a video about getting this new male here. This is a male Exanthic. These are TSK, and I had a comment asking what TSK meant, or it's shortened to SK a lot. TSK is just abbreviated for the Snake Keeper, or some people just call them Snake Keeper, SK line. There's a few different lines of Exanthic, like VPI and SK and Jolliffe. And all these different lines, all they are is the company, or whatever you want to call it, the name of the people that brought them in from Africa, originally brought that line of Exanthic in. Now, it's just the Snake Keeper company brought in this line of Exanthics first, and so they got to name them that, and that's just the name stuck like that. There's still a company out there breeding snakes, so I'm guessing they made quite a bit of money off bringing the first Exanthics like these into captivity, so that's just what that means. And it does depend on which line you have, because if you were to breed an SK to a VPI, all the babies would come out looking normal, because all Exanthic is recessive, but all the babies would come out looking normal. Double het for both VPI and SK. Now I guess you could breed those babies together and possibly produce a combination of the two, which I don't know what would look like. I don't know if anyone's done that before, but I'm guessing it would just look like an Exanthic. I don't really know how you'd be able to tell it apart from the VPI or the SK. It'd probably look like a combination of both, but there's not that much of a difference between VPI and SK line and Jolliffe. They all pretty much look the same. There's just a little bit of a difference that you really have to know what you're looking for to pick out. Anyway, that's just what all that means. I have the SK line just because there's a breeder around here that sold me this big girl about 1.5 years ago, and I've gotten her up to size, and so that's just the line I'm going to have to stick with. I don't really have any feelings either way about the lines, so I'm happy with it, and hopefully in a month or so I can probably put these two together, and hopefully they'll pair up for me. And just to let you guys know, if I do ever catch them actually paired up like that, I will definitely my video camera and share that with you guys. I definitely plan on sharing my whole breeding season along, and just kind of helping you guys out what to look for as I learn also, because you never really stop learning in this business. So again, what this is just a SK line to another SK line Exanthic, and because they are actually visible, which means they both have two Exanthic genes in them, 100% of the offspring will be visible SK Exanthics, just like these, and that's a pretty safe pretty safe bet when you're running low on time, because, I don't know, Exanthics are 400 for males, 500 for females or so. And so that's a pretty safe thing to do, Exanthic to Exanthic. Now, if I had more time, I would definitely breed like a pinstripe to her. They could be pinstriped het Exanthics and het Exanthics, but I would raise up the pinstripe het Exanthics and maybe breed them together, make some pinstripe Exanthics. But because it's a recessive gene, I just don't have that much time, because 4 years I'll be off to college. I don't know what the plans have for that. So because I'm limited for time, this is a safe pair up, and hopefully the next 4 years these guys can go and pay themselves off and just have make a lot of fun for me and you guys to watch. So this should be fun. This year, that's all I have this year. But next year, when I have my all 15 girls going, this video will be much longer, I'm guessing, and I won't be able to talk about each pairing up this much. But that's just what I have planned out for this year. Alright, now I also have some leopard geckos going this year. To the right there is my male. He's a tangerine carrot tail. And then to the left there is a blizzard female. So I have 2 blizzard females and that male there, so not too big in the leopard geckos, but it should be interesting. So I'm hoping for at least 10 babies from these guys this year. So I've already started putting them together for the last week or so they've been together. So hopefully I'll have some eggs before too long from these guys, because they're a lot of fun. Alright guys, now I just kind of want to talk to you about if you're going to try to breed ball pythons this year, and that's just what I'm talking about here, ball pythons. I don't know much about colubrids because I don't have any. I'm just talking ball pythons right now, okay? So right now, what you need to be doing is getting together which females you're going to be breeding this year. You need to be knowing that, and you need to be knowing which males you're going to be putting them with, and you just need to get all your information together and figure out what you're going to do for the year, because breeding season is coming up very quickly. Alright, now starting about a month ago, you needed to start feeding those girls that you're going to be breeding this year. You needed to really start feeding them a lot more than they usually are going to eat. Like, you need to be feeding them probably at least twice a week, and probably a little larger meal than you're usually feeding them. Because these girls, and they're probably going to be eating it too, even if it's been a picky eater for its whole life, it's probably, if it's up to size, and it's going to just start pounding food. It really is. Trust me, it is. So those girls know that breeding season is coming up. It's just their internal clocks are just ticking, and they know breeding season coming up, and they know that it takes a lot of energy to have this clutch of eggs, because females lose about half their body weight when they have a clutch of eggs. They can lose half their body weight, so that's a lot of weight. So if you're going low and you're breeding a girl at 12,000 grams, which I wouldn't recommend, that is the lowest of the low weight, and I wouldn't really breed something that low. 1,500 is about where I'd start. But say if it's at 1,200 grams and it loses 600 grams and it's down to 600 grams, that's a lot of weight to lose. So it needs to have a lot of fat, right? So you need to start really feeding them a lot. And that's what's been going on for the last month. My girls have just been slamming food. And so they're putting on a lot of weight really quick right now. And that's what they need to be doing. You know, if she's trying to build up all this fat and you're only giving her once a week, her normal little size of a rat, then, I mean, she's just really trying to fill up on fat and you're not letting her. So you really, I can't stress that anymore, you need to give her that energy, because she could die if she doesn't have that energy. Just saying. So you need to really offer them food. Just read what she's saying. Listen to what she's saying. If she's saying, I'm hungry, I need to eat, then you need to offer her that food. Alright, now starting about, you can start pretty much whenever you want, starting about now, and you need to start lowering their temperatures, the ones you're going to be breeding. Now you need to lower them down about 5 degrees to be safe. So you need to lower them down to about 5 degrees. I have mine at 90. Their hot spot at the back of the tub is 90 year-round. Except for breeding season, when I lower it down to about 85. I lower it down to about 85. Some people don't even lower their temperatures down and they still breed. Now, honestly, I think that lowering temperatures really does help, because it sets their minds thinking it's wintertime and breeding season's coming up, and so I think that just really helps with their minds, and plus I think it helps their organs and everything, the sperm to be able to pass into the eggs. There's a lot of theories that if it's too warm, that process can't happen, and you're going to have a lot of dud eggs, or they just won't live because they just were never fertilized, or she won't even have a clutch. She'll reabsorb her eggs even after she's ovulated or something. So that's what I do. I lower my temperatures down 5 degrees. Some people do it more, but if you lower it down more, you're taking that chance of getting a respiratory infection. And yes, you are taking a chance of getting a respiratory infection in your snakes, even if you lower it 5 degrees, because lower the temperatures, they can get a respiratory infection. Is basically just a cold. right? They just got mucus in their lungs and in their respiratory system. They got a bunch of mucus and everything. It's just a cold. But that's bad because they're sick. The animal's sick and it needs medical attention. So you got to take it to the vet and you got to give it treatment and everything. It's not really life-threatening most of the time, but you know, it's sick. And the animal's not healthy, and that's bad. So you're taking that chance when you're lowering the temperatures, and so that's always something you got to be thinking about. So don't lower them too much, because the more you lower them, the more your chances of respiratory infection go up. But 5 degrees is usually pretty safe, and you know how to check for a respiratory infection. You just need to listen to it, and if the animal is wheezing, you need to bring its temperatures back up right away, because it has signs that it might be getting a respiratory infection or already has one. So watch it, pay attention to your animals. You just got to really observe your animals. Alright, so now she's all full up on food, and now you're lowering their temperatures. And that's about now. You need to let them lower their temperatures for about 3 to 4 weeks and just let that really settle in, about at 85 degrees. And then we'll go from there. I'll give you guys an update on what I'm doing. That's where I'm at right now. And at 3 to 4 weeks, then you can start introducing your males, and that's what I'm going to be doing next week. And so I will give you guys an update on what to do from there. Alright, so this has been a pretty long video. I think it's time to wrap this up. But this week I'm going to ask you guys, what are you guys excited about to breed this season? So leave a short comment, because I'm not going to be putting up this huge comment of everything you got planned up. Just give me like a little 5-word comment, and I will put it up next week in the video. I'll feature it. Anyone who does, I'll pretty much put them all. I don't care if there's 100 comments, I'll probably put them all in the video, just because I like doing that. But just leave a nice little short comment telling me what you're excited about to breed this year, if you're breeding anything. And if you didn't notice, this is now in high definition, so you can click the little 1080p button down. It's down here. So it probably says 480 is where most people watch videos at, but you can click it up to 1080 now, and it's gonna be awesome quality. So there you go. So thank you for watching, and you've been watching ClassyHerps.